this is Alexis from the Wingsurfer magazine. I'm here at AWSI with Doug at Duotone. I mean, you guys have come out with some great wings, and like pretty early on, and like, they're like known.
For sure, yeah. I mean, Ken Winter picked up on it real early, and he was one of the first ones to really put it on a foil and realize that that's what was going to make this product work. So yeah, this is our third year selling wings.
I mean, like, let's go through it.
Well, yeah, the original thing that Ken wanted to do is was to rig it with a boom. You know, his whole deal was he wanted to have a boom so he could grab it anywhere and it would be easier and, you know, to learn and to, you know, do maneuvers and everything. So our original wings all had booms, and this is the third generation. It's called a slick. And it's got what we call a mini boom. So this boom is much smaller and shorter and lighter than the original booms we had. There's no big plastic piece on the front, and it only goes 3/4 of the way down the wing. So that saves a lot of weight. The other important thing you'll notice about the slick is that it has a center strut, whereas the earlier Echo models had no strut here. And what this strut does is it makes the draft a lot more stable in the wing, and it also helps the wing to float in the water so the back end of the wing won't sink underwater. So it's much more user-friendly. It's got really broad range. So good low end, and you can hang on to it in a lot of breeze.
Now, you've got some battens in here.
Yep.
You've got some other technical stuff. Let's walk through that.
Yeah, well, I think one of the first things you'll notice is the outline of this wing. It's got really short wingtips. So the distance between the boom and the wingtip is really short. It's kind of cut off, and that really makes the wing easy to pump up on the water. You won't get caught with the wing hitting the water and then flipping over and then you're done. So that's one really nice aspect of this. And then the battens you mentioned, that keeps the leech of the wing from fluttering too much when you're really wound up. And it just makes it faster and less draggy.
Now, what's up with this, the curvature and
yeah,
it's slim? I'm like, wow.
Yeah, well, this was how Ken solved the problem of putting a boom on a strut. Is he had the strut, you know, move away from the boom so there's room for your hands in here. So yeah, that's how it works. And you know, I really encourage anybody, even if you're a good winger, just to try a boom, because you know, with the handles, you have to hit the handle during a transition. If you're jibing or tacking, you got to grab that at the right time to stay powered up. And with the boom, it's always there. You don't have to look. It's just there to grab. Also, when starting, I think for beginners, this is the best product, because when they're on their knees and they're pulling the wing up over the board and going to grab it with their back hand, wherever they grab, the boom is there. So it's just easier.
Awesome. So let's talk about this wing.
Okay, so the other wing that Duotone makes is called the Unit. And it came out last year, and it had traditional handles as far as, you know, fabric handles, and that worked out really well for us. It was popular with the wave riders because it's a little bit lighter. And now this is the new unit for next year, for 2022. And it's been completely redesigned. And one of the first things you'll notice right off the bat is these handles. So these are molded handles that are screwed onto a patch that's sewn into the strut of the kite. So these are super solid. You can twist the kite when you're out there to change the angle and everything. And they're quite large. So again, almost as good as a boom. You've got a really good chance when you're grabbing it to catching your hand on the handle, and away you go. And you've got a good range of motion. You can grab it in the front, you can move a little back here, whereas with the sewn handles, you're pretty much, once you're holding onto that handle, that's where you're at. Your only next step is to move to the next handle, which is usually quite far away. So this is an innovation. We're the first ones out there, and I've been riding this for a couple weeks, and I love it. Yeah.
So what's the main differences between this one and the slick?
Okay, there's a lot more differences, and one of the key differences is the canopy shape. Now what Ken's done is he's oriented these panels in a different direction. They're going lengthwise here instead of front to back. And what that does is allows him to put a lot of tension in this part of the wing where all the draft is and all the power is, and that draft won't move around. So it's really draft stable, it's got good power, and by keeping the draft up in this part of the wing, when you're riding along and you come into a tack or a jibe, the wing wants to lift up, which is where you want to go. You don't want it to fall down on you. You want it to keep lifting. So this wing really keeps lifting, and that's a really great feeling when you're on the water.
Now, so notice the different wing tips over here. It's not
Yep.
as squared off. It's more
Right.
curved.
Yep. Yeah, that all has to do with the canopy tension and the use, because this is more of a wave kite. You know, for sure all around, but skewed a little bit more towards wave riding.
Okay.
So he wanted to make sure that the kite really flew really well.
Wing.
Yes, the wing. Yeah, that's going to happen all day long. But with this type of wing, when you go to the handle and you're just riding the board and not riding the wing, you want it to fly really well. And that's what this shape does for you, is it keeps it flying level and not oscillating and not falling down.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about this thing. It's so good, it's wet. It just got off the water. I mean, like, look at it, the water dripping off of it.
It's going right back out. Yeah, we got to do this fast. Yeah, so this is the unit D-Lab. So based on the unit that I just showed you, but this is made out of a special material, a Lula. You've probably heard about it from kiteboarding. Yeah. So that's what this yellow material is. It's a Lula material, so it's much lighter and even stiffer than the standard material.
Wow.
So that gives the wing even more draft stability and keeps it floating in even lighter winds. Okay. So it's, you know, the new unit is awesome. The unit D-Lab is even awesomer more.
Awesomer more.
Is that a word?
That's a Wikipedia word for 2021.
Yeah, I invented it. Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
You heard it.
Yeah, so unit D-Lab.
Awesome.
Yeah, and D-Lab stands for Duotone Laboratory, and these are the products that our designers are making that without any regard to cost or practicality or anything, just the very best stuff they can make.
It doesn't matter what it costs, we're just going to make it.
Within reason.
We can make it.
It is more expensive, but it's not that bad, really. If the regular unit, say 5 meters, about $950, I think they're going to be, the D-Lab will be about $1650. So it's more, but they also have more wind range. And we think a lot of people will get maybe 2 wings instead of 3. And, you know, you can add it up that way.
Well, I mean, it's way cheaper than that 10 grand mountain bike you got. So.
Well, we need that too, though.
Well, okay, back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So where can they find more information on these wings?
Duotonesports.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Doug.